What's up guys, welcome back to another Tuesday tutorials. In today's video, hey, say what's up to Nora guys. In this video, I'm gonna be showing you how I made the video that I used for the intro of this video, and I shot that all on my iPhone. My cat is now scratching herself on the table, shaking everything. Anyway, so yes, I shot that all on my iPhone. I did that because I kind of wanted to prove a point for my last video that I shot a few weeks back, showing, all you need for YouTube is your phone basically, especially this new iPhone, the new iPhone 11. I just got that a few weeks ago and I've been using that, playing around with it, seeing the camera on it, because the reason why I got a Canon camera is because, I wanted to get into photography and videography a little bit more, but my camera phone sucked on my last phone. I had the iPhone 10, which is probably great on its own, but I used the insurance because I broke my phone, and they sent me like a phone from Asurion, and in the back of it, like even in the back of the phone, which this one's not because it's the brand new iPhone 11 that I keep scratching, it said manufactured by Asurion. So it wasn't even like a real iPhone or didn't have like real iPhone parts, and you could totally tell. Like when I would use the actual camera in the back, for one, it wasn't even as clear as like most camera phones, and for two, the audio wouldn't work. I'd have to like record my audio externally, which was totally fine because this sounds a lot better, but I noticed that on this iPhone, I don't need to do that, and it sounds great. Like I will show an example, but it sounds great on this phone, and even the front camera on this phone is like so much better than the iPhone 10's front camera. But well, at least on the phone that I had, the Asurion manufactured phone, that one sucked. So anyways, I ended up getting a Canon camera because I had some extra cash, and I love shooting on that thing. But I know a lot of people out there don't have extra money just to go and buy a Canon camera, and especially like a different lens, like the one I'm using now is a 50mm, and you can see I switch between the 50mm and the lens that it came with, and you can kind of see that in some videos. Like this is so much better in low light situations, so I definitely love using this one. But the only thing is that this 50mm is like probably a good like 10 feet away from me, and that's why I always got to use external audio and stuff, but it sounds better anyways. Always going off on a rant. So but that's why you guys watch these videos. So today I'm going to be showing you how to shoot on your iPhone and how to get cinematic shots like the ones you saw in the beginning of this video, with just a few simple tips. I'm also going to show you how I edited the video as well. So let's get into like how to shoot on your iPhone. The first tip I want to mention is to lock the exposure, and you do that by picking a good spot. You find where you want your exposure to be, and then you just hold your finger down on the screen and it'll lock the exposure there, so that way when you pan and move around, it won't change exposures like camera phones usually do. And that's the first tip that I want to say, is that when I was shooting this, we were shooting it outside, and if you move around a lot, you'll notice that the camera will go dark light, trying to adjust the exposure as you move around. And usually if you're not trying to shoot like B-roll or something, that's probably okay. If you're just shooting a video in your family, it doesn't really matter. But the more you like take your time with it and like aim and lock your exposure and stuff like that, like that's when you'll get like better shots, and you can like move slow. And these actually have really good like stabilization on there, so it'll actually like look pretty cool. You can also shoot in 60 frames per second, and that's gonna be my next tip, is that everything that I was shooting was in 60 frames per second, 4K, which you can change in the camera settings on the phone. I can quickly show you how to do that now. So yeah, you just wanna go to your settings and go down to the camera. And in here, you can see recording video. You'll see that there's different options here. If you're just shooting regular like talking head videos like this and you wanna save space, 720 to 30 frames per second or 1080p, with 30 frames per second is also great just for these kind of videos like this. But if you want to slow down your videos and have them be all smooth and buttery, then you're gonna wanna shoot at 4K at 60 frames per second. You can even do 1080p at 60 frames per second, but the 4K looks really, really nice. It takes up a lot more space. I have like 250 gigs on my phone, so I'm not too worried about that. Plus I don't save any of my videos that I've already uploaded. I know a lot of people are gonna be upset about that, but I just don't really care about it, and I don't feel like the stuff that I'm shooting right now is where I want to keep it and save it and use it in other videos. I'm going to keep progressing. The ones that I do like, though, I will say, the B-roll that I do like, that is my favorite, I have saved, so there's a few videos, but like I said, I have the space to do so. So one, you're going to want to lock your exposure. And two, you're going to want to shoot at a higher frame rate so that if you decide to slow it down, you can, it'll look nice and smooth for you. And then 3 is like, instead of a lot of people when they pan, a lot of people when they're shooting their videos, they like to pan like this because they think, you know, you want to get everything, especially like landscape shots. You know, it's cool if you're trying to get a landscape shot and you want to just send it to your mom. But if you're going to be, you know, shooting something for like a B-roll scene, or if you want to just make something look cinematic, you're going to want to do some more panning like I did in the intro of this, is when I was like behind the wall and I scooted over from right to left instead of like an actual like, you know, tilt pan like this. It looks a lot cooler, especially coming behind something. Like I did that with my Sedona video, trying to like pan up and down from the like plant. Started with like a little like bush there, and then I came up from that, making it look a little bit better instead of just shooting the mountain like, you know, just straight forward. Tip number 4 is going to be to find cool little scenes that you think would look really awesome slowed down. I used like the water dripping off the car and her just like spraying things, like stuff like that looks really cool because the water dripping slowed down looks really cool. Trees moving, if you see puddles, if you can kind of like splash them or something and have them move in slow-mo. Things like that are really cool to add into your shoot. And, you know, getting really close to things too also looks really nice because the closer you get, the clearer it is, and like having cool little macro shots. If you have like external lenses and stuff for your phone, that's even better. You can, you know, make like wide shot and you can have different angles. Last thing I want to mention is the cinematic bars that I used, making the B-roll look way more cinematic, obviously. Basically, I just shot that really fast and I didn't really look into any settings, so I don't know if the phone can like do that on its own or whatever, but I just added it in artificially, and I can just show you how to do that. So let's get into the project now. So I started, you know, this is the project here. I'll show it to you once again. I added in that flare there. That's not real, but you can probably tell. These are the shots that I'm talking about, like that look really cool. I added in a time lapse for the build-up, which I thought was really cool as well. Something that I didn't even think I was going to use. I just shot that at the end and ended up putting it in. Cool little like white boy scenes, just pretty much anything. Just shoot as much as you can because you never know what you're going to use. I made this really short so I didn't have to shoot too much, and I added in that little like cheesy water drop because they let you, you know, in here you can add animations to your text, which I think is cool. But anyways, I think that was effects. So yeah, so I started by picking a song. And let's see here, it doesn't have the names of the songs on here, but in this app you can actually use songs that are in the app, and there's tons of them in there. And I just typed in like future bass because Peter McKinnon uses those in his like cool B-roll scenes, and I feel like it adds a lot of energy to it. Usually when videos like this, as like right now, you can hear that there's just like a lo-fi type like beat or something in the backgrounds because I don't want that to be too distracting in the video. But in this, that adds to the video. So I picked a higher energy song to like, you know, get the energy going. And then I believe that this is just, let's just delete that and see what it does. I'm not sure what that is. Oh, it just took the saturation down a bit and added the vibrance up. It's kind of like a cool little filter layer that you can do. So you, if you forget to, you know, if you forget to like color grade or mess with the clips beforehand, like as it's one clip, you can just add this over all the clips and make them, you know, and edit them all at once, which is really nice. So I added the clips in and cut them to the music, which, you know, was, oh, there we go. I was looking for that. There's always so many layers. That's the thing about this app, is that you got to find the layers. It's not all layered on each other where you can see them. You can't like expand them open. So yeah, that's actually how I added the fade in there. Was I put a little, you know, just a black picture over it, and I had it just fade in with the diamonds down here in the corner. So yeah, that's how that fades in, and I thought that was cool because instead of just starting without it, just kind of gives it a little, you know, build up in there. And then, so there, this I actually used a transition, and the transition I used was a sliding one because I was sliding from left to right from behind this wall to get the next scene, and I thought that just like kind of went hand in hand. So look at that, it just slides right into it. And then I even did, I believe I used regular speed here and then slowed it down. So it was like regular speed, slow down, so that it goes with the music as well. So it's a little bit of like transitioning into the next thing. And then I thought, you know, the background was cool, but having a little bit of a flare come through would even be nicer. So I added that flare in there, and then I added some animation to the flare as well by using the diamonds in the corner. So the flare fades in, so it's not super bright, and then it gets really bright. And then the diamonds are just so that it didn't, you know, go behind the wall, because you want it to like follow. It's kind of like After Effects, you know, you made your effect move with the video as well. So that's all that's doing, because if I would have taken them off, it would have looked like it was in the car wash when I was moving it. And we don't want that. It would have been like over here, and that would have just looked funny with the flare being inside. It would look unnatural, it wouldn't look real. So yeah, slides over, the flare is in the background there, you can see with the red dot. Then we switch over to a nice little slow-mo, water dripping off the car. I thought that looked really cool. The lighting was good. And like I said, you know, pick a spot on the screen that you want your like your exposure to lock on. I usually pick like the car. I don't want to pick something in the background because then it would be too dark in here. And then when you're moving like closer to the car, or when you're moving like this, it doesn't, you know, from behind the wall, it doesn't change exposures, making it look like you're shooting on a real camera instead of a camera phone. And then, you know, we go to the time lapse, which I think I even sped up a little bit more. There's a hole in our car there. Something bounced on the freeway, but whatever. Yeah, and then, you know, the drop, we just do another little cleaning up here. I thought it was cool to add in this wipe. You can even see there that I'm using the camera phone right there, which is nice. So yeah, and then so we'll just finish that up. Another little back of the car water dripping scene. Like I said, you know, I didn't shoot too much, so there's not, you know, a crazy amount of different scenes and things. Maybe I could have shot from in the car. Maybe I could have shot from further back so you could see more of the car wash. You could do B-roll of the car wash of like certain things, you know, getting slow-mos and pans of that, maybe of the logo on the car wash place. But anyways, like I said, I was just doing it real quickly. And then I added a text at the end, which just said car wash, which, you know, I could have just left normal, but they let you do effects. Let's see where these effects are. Oh, right here. So, you know, if just to add in some cool little like elements, just for fun. I didn't have to do the water drops because, you know, it is a little cheesy, but I thought it was fun. You could even do something like fire. If you thought, you know, the car wash was fire, whatever. Just cool little effects that this app comes with, that if you pay for the full version, you can totally, you know, use, but you can also just do none at all, and that's totally fine. And just end it with little, you know, car wash, fade away, and yeah. Oh, I almost forgot the most important part. Sorry. So yeah, the most important part of this, well, you know, everything is pretty important. You know, the exposure locking so it looks like you're not on a camera phone, being really still and trying to be straight, you know, really thinking of treating your phone like a camera and trying to get the angles that you would on a camera instead of just pointing and shooting, using 60 frames per second so you can get the slow-mo in there. And then the last thing, like I said, is the black bars here. So these black bars are something that I made on PhotoFox because I just saw that you can find them online, but they had like, you'd have to get screenshots of them, and I just figured I could make them myself. So all this is like you could see, I just used a blend, the blending tool in here to make it that way, and then I opened it to where I wanted it, and then just blended this, you know, blended it so that it was there. You could do the opposite of that too, and so you can see what that looks like, you know. So that's without them, you know, you have to blend it in. They come with like black bars in the green screen, which would blend in just fine as well. I just made this on video or PhotoFox, which I'll just show you how to do super quickly. You'll just get a white canvas, and you'll want to crop it to the size of the video that you're doing. We'll just do 4K, but we'll just do 720 actually. And then you'll just want to add in, let's see. This is actually, you know what, I'm actually making it a little bit more complicated than it is. We'll just do a black canvas actually. Let's Let's size this up. Okay, and then we'll just add in the element here, which we'll use this one here, and then you'll just open it to where you want it to, and it'll stay in the middle too, which is nice. So there you go. Now you have, like, you just bounce that, and you can even make them, like, you know, if you really wanted to be obnoxious with it. I'm not really sure. Like I said, I'm still new to all this, so I don't know if there's like regulations or whatever to it, but you'll just bounce that, and then you'll open it here and layer it, and then you'll just add that to the whole video, and it looks really awesome. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I wanted to make this video pretty short. It's probably gonna be a little bit longer than I wanted, but I hope that it's full of all the information that you could use to make your B-roll or your next video look really cinematic and cool. I'd love for you guys to show me what you did with the information from this video. So if you do make a video using the information that I gave, go ahead and comment down below letting me know to check out your channel. So my memory card was full, so I'm not sure where that cut off, but anyways, I believe I was saying that I was done. So yeah, guys, anyways, go ahead and check out my other videos. I shoot a tutorial every Tuesday, and I also post Monday through Friday motivational podcast videos trying to teach you how to live intentionally. If that sounds good to you, then go ahead and subscribe to this channel, and I'll see you next time. Peace.